Hey class 9 students, hope everybody are doing well, and I am back with the most requested chapter, that is work and energy. So I know you have been waiting for this video from so many days. So finally I am here with the chapter. Okay, tell me how many of you were waiting for this chapter, how many of you are excited and happy for this video. So I want to know your comments. Okay, so I want to see your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to comment your state, okay, in the chat section. And before we proceed, what you all have to do? Like the video and share the video with all your friends out there. Okay, so hope you like the video. So moving forward with the very first concept, that is work. So before I discuss about the work, let me tell you what are the different things you are going to study in the chapter. So you will basically understand what actually we mean by work. Okay, see, this word work is a day-to-day word, isn't it? So we use this word for everything. You know, parents will tell you, don't waste your time, do your work. Okay, so go and do your homework, go and do that work, right? Even your teachers would say, hey, don't make noise, just go on doing your work, right? So this is a very casual word, casual thing you kept on hearing from so many years, right, in all your classes. Okay, so actually speaking, that meaning is different, scientific meaning is different. Okay, so now you all have come to class 9 and you have to improve your scientific knowledge, isn't it? So in science, the meaning of the term work is different. So we are going to understand what is that meaning, and we do have formula for work also. Okay, so what is that formula? When do you use that formula? What is the use of that formula? Everything we are going to discuss, right? Okay, so after we discuss about work and then we discuss about energy. So energy is also very casual word that we use it in a day-to-day life, right? So if you eat food, you get energy, right? If you want to do some work, you have to have energy, right? So energy is also a very casual thing, but here the meaning of the word energy is totally different. Okay, so we will discuss everything about energy. There are two types of energy. There are so many types of energy, but in a chapter we are going to discuss two important types of energies, their formulas and everything. Okay, and then all about energy, and finally we will also discuss about power. Okay, so what is power? So power also has got different meaning in a day-to-day life, but here the power is different. We have a formula for power. Okay, we do have problems and we have to do so many problems under each concept. So all of that we are going to study in a most detailed way and in a most funny way. Okay, so I've already, if you are ready with your notebook and pen, if you have shared this video to all your friends, type ready in the comment section so that I will start with the very first concept called work. Okay, yes. So now let me show you some pictures. Okay, so here if you look at these pictures, if you see this girl, okay, so she's always studying all the day. Okay, so before the day of your exam, you all also will do lot of work. Here, what do I mean by work here? Studying. Okay, so what is that girl doing here? Studying, and you know she's doing that hard work. Okay, so the so-called hard work is what the girl is doing before the exams. Okay, so yes, can you call it as a work? Yes, it is a daily meaning. That is a day-to-day work. Okay, right? So here the meaning of work in daily life. Okay, so day-to-day life, work is different, and the scientific meaning is different. Okay, so in science the meaning of work is different. Okay, so now in day-to-day life, you know that studying, right, the girl doing that hard work, right, so all of them come under work only, right? So look at here, this boy is pushing the rock, isn't it? But the rock is not moving because this is such a big ball and he is putting all his energy to make the stone move. So it is a ball made up of stone, so it's such a big stone, it is not at all moving, right? So here also the work is involved. So what is involved? Even here the work is involved, right? And look at here, the boy holding a heavy bag. So you all will carry too much heavy bags on your back, isn't it? Right? So the bag, you're doing work, right? In day-to-day life, if I have to talk, you're doing work only, you're carrying bag and going, isn't it? So, but do you call all of these activities as the work which comes under science? So according to science, okay, so according to science, all of them are not called as work, but in day-to-day life, yes, all these activities come under work only, okay? But in science, according to science, okay, so none of the activities are called as work, okay? So can you say a girl who is doing hard work before the exam as work? No, according to science, no, okay? Can you say this boy, you know, trying to move this big rock ahead where the rock is not moving, he's just doing his work, he's spending all his energy, right? Can you call this activity as a work here? No, according to science. And similarly, a boy holding a baggage, you know, heavy baggage on his back and, you know, going forward, can you call that as a work according to science? No. Okay, so guys, everybody type this word no, okay, in science. So according to science, none of the activities are considered as work, okay? But what is considered as work here? Okay, what is considered as work? Look at here, the boy lifting school bag, okay? So I will write here lifting school bag, okay, can be considered as work, but holding school bag on his back, no. Okay, he's just holding it, okay, that's not considered as work. But the activity of lifting school bag can be considered as work, okay? And pushing some object away, okay? So when a boy, imagine a boy standing and he is applying some force and he is pushing some object away, further away, and that activity can be considered as work according to science. Okay, but look at here, pushing a wall. Can you push a wall here? Wall will not move, right? So even if the boy is pushing a wall is not moving. When wall is not moving, it cannot be called as a work. But if wall was moving, or if it is some ball, lightweight wall, or if it is lightweight ball and the boy pushing it, the object moves further, that can be called as a work. Okay, right? So when you apply a force, so boy is applying a force on this object. So on applying a force, if the object is moving further, then it can be called as a work. Okay, but here as long as the wall is not moving, but a boy is applying a force, you can't call it as a work because the object is not moving. So what is the condition here to call something as a work? So let me write the condition to call something as a work. Okay, so condition for work. So what is the condition? You know, you should observe applying force. Okay, so when you apply force on some object and on applying force, the object have to move. Okay, so object have to move. So when these changes are observed in the activity, then such a activity itself can be called as a work. Okay, so hope you understood. Say for example, I am applying force on this TV. The TV is not moving. Tell me, can you call it as a work or not? Hope you messaged, okay, in the chat section. I am applying force on a TV, but the TV is not moving. Okay, so yes, you all are right. It cannot be called as a work. Okay, but now on applying a force, the TV is moving back. Okay, on applying a force, the TV is moving back. So when the board was moving back, the TV was moving back on applying a force, then it can be called as a work according to science. Okay, so hope you all have understood the concept, what actually we mean by work, right? Okay, so now let us write the definition of work here. Okay, so what is the work here? Work is the product of force and displacement. Work is the product of force and displacement. That means work is equal to force. That is F in the sense what? Force. Okay, so force into displacement. Displacement, how do you write displacement? Symbol S, right? So here S means displacement. Okay, displacement, very important. So this is the formula of work. So it is the product means multiplication, right? So work is nothing but the combination, that is multiplication of force and displacement. Okay, so very simple definition and the very simple formula. So now let us identify what are the units of work here. Okay, so what can be the units of work here? What is the unit of force? Newton. Okay, what is the unit of displacement? Displacement means an object moving from one place to another place. Okay, so displacement unit is meter. So Newton meter is the unit. So this Newton meter can also be called as joule. So joule can be indicated with the letter J. So J, that is joule, can be a standard unit for work, or Newton meter also you can write. Okay, so Newton meter or joule can be a unit for work. So this is very, very important here. Fine. Now work, there are two types of work here. Okay, so work are of two types. So you have positive work, and you also have a negative work here. So these are the two types of work, guys, very important. I will show you one picture now. Look at this picture and look at this particular example first. Okay, see, there are two boys, small boy, big boy. The small boy is sitting on a toy car. Okay, and the big boy is pushing this car further. Okay, so yeah, and now if you observe the direction of force that this boy is applying, so in which direction the boy is applying a force? Boy is applying a force in this direction. Yes, he is applying force, he is moving. Yes, he is pushing the vehicle like this. That means in this direction the boy is applying a force. And in which direction the object is moving? So on which object he is applying a force? He is applying a force on this toy car. So toy car is the object. So the object is also moving. Okay, so force is applied. On applying a force, object has to move. Only then you will call it as a force. Only then you will call it as a work, isn't it? So the object, in which direction is it moving? The object also is moving in the same direction. So the direction of force and the direction of displacement, if it is same, then such a work is called positive work. Okay, so what is a positive work here? So what do you observe in positive work here? So in positive work, direction of force applied. Okay, so all these points are very, very important. The direction of force applied and the direction of movement, direction of displacement, movement, or I can say displacement, is same. Okay, so such a work is called positive work. And now look at this particular example. Okay, so a cat is climbing up the step. Okay, so cat is applying a pressure on the steps. But in which direction the cat is applying a pressure on steps? Downward. Yes or no? So cat is applying pressure, to downward direction, in downward direction. That way you can think. Okay, so here force is in downward direction. Okay, but the cat is moving. Right, so the cat is moving in which direction? Cat is moving in different direction. Okay, so cat is moving in this direction. Okay, so force is towards the gravity. Okay, force is downwards, but the cat is moving upwards, isn't it? So that means the direction of force and the direction of movement is opposite. Okay, so what is a negative work here? What is a negative work? Direction of force and direction of displacement. Direction of displacement is opposite. Okay, so that is called as a negative work. And one more thing, another example for negative work is applying brakes in cycle. Okay, so applying brakes in bicycle. Okay, so bicycle, so you all would go to school by bicycle, isn't it? So you're going bicycle is moving forward, but the moment you apply a brake, the bicycle stops. So actually the force is applied in the opposite direction to the movement. Okay, yes, so let me give you that scenario. There is a bicycle. Okay, so this is your bicycle and you are sitting here and your bicycle is moving in this direction. So you have applied brakes. When you apply brakes, the force is acted upon your wheels in the opposite direction. So force is acted from opposite direction on your wheels, but the displacement is in forward direction. See, the force that is applied and the displacement is in opposite direction. So even this scenario can be an example for negative work here. Okay, so that is all about positive work and negative work. Okay, so now the simple questions can be asked based on the formula of work here. So here let us solve few questions. Okay, so just this example 10.1, you can see a force of 5 Newton. Okay, so force is given here, that is 5 Newton acting on an object. The object is displaced through 2 meter. Okay, so 2 meter. The moment you see the unit meter, it means the displacement is given. The moment you see the unit N, it means the force is given here. Okay, so look at the units and confirm what term is given in a question. Okay, so if the force acts on the object all through the displacement, then the work done is, so they are asking work done. So work done is equal to force into displacement. Force is 5. Okay, displacement is 2, so it is 10 Newton meter is the work done. Don't forget the unit. Instead of writing Newton meter, you can also write 10 joules as the answer. Okay, so that's all about this question. So now coming to another question here, a force of 7 Newton. Okay, so here the force is given, that is 7 Newton. Okay, acts on the object. The displacement is say 8 meters. So that means the displacement is 8 meters in the direction of the force. So that means displacement also happened in the same direction as that of force. Tell me what kind of work it is. Is it a positive work or negative work? I want you all to reply in the chat section. Okay, so tell me what kind of work it is. Okay, let us take if that force acts on the object through the displacement, what is the work done in this case? Simple problem, similar to previous one only. Use the formula W is equal to F into S. Just substitute, calculate and tell me the answer in the comment section. Okay, so now let us just go for this particular example, second example. Okay, so what is the second example here? A porter lifts a luggage of 15 kg. Okay, so he is lifting a luggage of 15 kg. So the weight is given here. Okay, so weight is given 15 kg. Okay, from a ground and puts it on his head 1.5 meter above the ground. Okay, and puts it, where is he putting it? Puts it on his head, like he's lifting a luggage which is of that weight, and he has lifted and he has put it on a weight. That means it has moved to this much distance. Okay, from here to here it has moved to that distance, and that distance they have given. That is nothing but your displacement. Okay, right? So what is the displacement? 1.5 meters. So whenever you see M, it means the displacement is given. Okay, yes, calculate the work done. So what is the formula for work done? Force into displacement. Did they give force directly in a question? No, they have not given force directly in a question. First you have to calculate the force. Okay, so how do you calculate force here? Yes, you have a formula. You studied the formula of force in the previous chapters, isn't it? So what is force? Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Force is nothing but mass into acceleration here. Yes, what is the mass given? Mass is nothing but weight here. Okay, so you can take 15 kg is the mass. Acceleration is acceleration to the gravity. Yes, so gravitational force is what you will consider, that is 10 meter per second square. Okay, so 10 I will take, right? So 15 into 10, how much? 150. So your force is 150 Newton. Okay, so now you substitute in the formula. Okay, force is how much? 150. So 150 into displacement. How much is the displacement? Displacement is 1.5 meter. So mention, guys, what is the answer here? Mention in the chat section. Also mention along with the units here. Okay, right? So this is how sometimes you have to think. Directly they will not give you force. They might give you mass, okay, and then ask you to calculate work. So whatever the way they ask, you must be in a position to calculate. So that is all about work here. Okay, so hope you understood everything about work. What is work? Okay, so what do you mean by positive work? What do you mean by negative work? And the numericals based on the work, all of that. Okay, so you can also solve these questions very easily. When do we say that the work is done? When do you say that the work is done? When there is a force applied, and also when there is a displacement that you observe on applying a force, you call that the work is done. Okay, write the expression for the work done when force is acted on an object in the direction of its displacement. So what is the expression? W is equal to F into S. Define 1 joule of work. So how do you define 1 joule of work here? So 1 joule of work, when does 1 joule of work happen? When 1 Newton of force applied. How much of force when you apply? When 1 Newton of force is applied to displace, okay, to displace an object, of 1 meter. Okay, see here, very simple logic. Force is equal to F into displacement. When F value is 1, when S value is 1, then you will get 1 as the answer for, W, that is 1 joule. So when this is 1, when this is 1, this becomes 1, the same thing. So when 1 Newton force is applied and when you observe 1 meter of displacement, then the work done becomes equal to 1 joule. Okay, simple. And now The fourth question, a pair of bullock carts exert a force of 140 Newton. So that is F is equal to 140. Okay, the field is being plowed, that means displacement is given 15 meter. So they are asking work. Okay, right? So very simple problem, you can do it. So that is all about work. Now we will move on to energy. Very interesting aspect, energy. Hey, if I ask you energy, what do you tell it as? You know, if you eat, you get energy to do work. If you don't eat anything, do you get energy to perform any kind of works? No, right? So energy is also a form of work only. Okay, so or I can say work is also a form of energy. So if I have to define energy, I can tell it in this way. Energy is nothing but capacity to do work. Okay, so what is energy? Everybody mention this in the chat section. Mention this in the comment section. Capacity, when an object or anything which has got a capacity to do work is called as energy here. Okay, so I can say even this work is a form of energy only. So whatever the work that you want to do, you should apply force. Yes or no? So logically speaking, your work is nothing but force into displacement. So when you apply force, an object will move from point A to point B, then that particular act is called as a work. We have understood this so far. So now to apply a force, how do you apply a force? How do you apply a force? Force can be applied if something has energy, isn't it? So you cannot see energy, but you can always feel energy. Okay, so energy cannot be visible for your naked eye, but energy can be felt in a action. Okay, so to perform a particular action, you need to have that energy. Okay, so that energy can be defined like this. Capacity to do work is called energy. Okay, yes. So now there are different types of energies. We have chemical energy, any chemical reaction which is happening in a particular beaker or container, you know, we say that as chemical energy. Okay, solar energy, the heat that is coming from sun, the light that is coming from sun is a solar energy. Okay, electrical energy, mechanical energy, there are so many types of energy. But in the chapter, we are going to discuss, you know, two important types of energies. Number one, kinetic energy, and number two, potential energy. Okay, so let's discuss what actually we mean by this two types of energy, that is kinetic energy and potential energy. Okay, so what did I tell you? Kinetic energy, Ke means kinetic energy, Pe in the sense potential energy. Okay, yes, so let me go to the, yes, see here I have different examples for energy for you. Say this is a bullet. Okay, so this is a bullet that is moving with a particular speed and it is going to hit a person. Yes, this particular bullet is going to do some work. That means this bullet has got energy. Okay, yes, it has got a capacity to do work. What is the work that this bullet does? It will hit. That means it is applying a force. This fellow is applying a force, and when force is applied on a person, the person would move and collapse. So displacement is also happening with a person. Imagine if this is a bullet, right? Imagine there is a person standing, so this hits onto this person with force and this person collapses. That means displacement is also happening. That means work is happening. Wherever work is happening, there the energy must have been there, because if you don't have energy, you do not have capacity to work. So that capacity to work itself is called as energy. So bullet, fast moving bullet has got energy. Okay, and the dog is moving up and down. Okay, so the dog is applying force on a sofa. The sofa might move ahead. Yes, here the dog is doing a work, and this dog must have had energy. That's why it is doing the work. And even chocolate has got energy. Yes, so chocolate is giving energy indirectly. So when you consume chocolate, you that chemical energy, chocolate is nothing but a chemical, you have glucose here, okay, so the chemical energy is getting converted into heat energy in your body. So that heat is giving you energy to lift your hand, to talk, to walk, and etc. So here chocolate is like it is giving you energy indirectly. So all this can do work. Chocolate is doing a work inside, may not be a direct work, but it is doing, it's a chemical which is converting into heat energy, okay. So all these things are responsible for one or the other kinds of works, so all of them are associated with energy, okay. Yes, so energy is the capacity to do work, and the unit of energy will remain same as work only. So what is the unit of work? Joule. So for energy also the unit is joule only, okay, right. So but here we use a bigger unit, so kilojoule we use, because here kilo, whenever you see a letter K, it means kilo, kilo means 1000, okay. So 1 kilojoule means what? 1 kilojoule is nothing but 1000 joules, okay. So 1 kilojoule is equal to 1000 joules, okay. Kilo means 1000. So that is all about the basic aspects of energy that we have to discuss. And now I told you there are two types of energy. One is a kinetic energy, the other one is potential energy. So let's discuss what do we mean by kinetic energy initially. Fine. So kinetic energy is very simple, guys. Moving energy is called kinetic energy. What is kinetic energy? You can write the definition in a simple way. Moving energy is called kinetic energy. So if you look at the picture that I have here, you see on a rail, okay, on a rail these cars are moving. So it is moving because of some energy it has, okay, right. So moving energy, the energy associated with moving is called as kinetic energy. So when you run, anything that moves has got a kinetic energy, okay. Say for example my hand, I am moving my hand continuously. So what kind of energy I say this? I am moving my hand with what kind of energy? Kinetic energy, okay. So wind, okay, so for wind you would automatically move. Suppose if you are underweight, okay, if you have a underweight, if you are very thin, on a strong wind, what do? Would you stand in that same place? No, you will automatically get moved, isn't it? So all these are the different examples of kinetic energy, okay. So now this kinetic energy has got the formula. So there is a formula to calculate kinetic energy. So very famous formula, very important formula, that is kinetic energy is equal to half into mv square. I'll show you how I got this formula, okay. So here just I'm mentioning initially, you note it down, this formula, very important. So here m is equal to mass of object, and v is equal to velocity, okay, speed of object with which it is moving, okay. Say for example I want to calculate with how much energy my hand is moving. My hand is moving, right? So I want to calculate the kinetic energy of my hand. So what do? I'll take the mass of my hand, I'll take the weight of my hand, okay, and I'll also measure the speed with which my hand is moving. So when I know the speed with which my hand is moving and when I know the mass of my hand, I can calculate the kinetic energy of my hand. Okay, similarly, if I want to know the kinetic energy of this girl, okay, yes, how do I calculate? If I know the mass of this girl, if I know the weight of this girl, and if I know the speed with which this girl is moving, you can measure the speed, right? So when you know the speed with which the girl is moving and when you know the weight of this girl, substitute, you can find out how much is the kinetic energy that the girl has. Okay, so moving objects always have energy. With that energy only they keep moving, and that energy is nothing but a kinetic energy. So now I will show you how we have got this formula. So this derivation is also there in your textbook. If it is useful for your exams, you can study. I will show you the derivation. So the basic formula here is, we all have studied the laws of motion. So in the previous chapter we studied the 3 Newton's laws of motion. In that, this very famous formula, u square minus v square is equal to 2as, right? So this is one important. U is initial velocity, v is final velocity, a is acceleration, and s is displacement. So it's a very famous formula which we write for one of the law, isn't it? So this formula I'm using. So here if I have to rearrange, say I want the value of s. So what do? This whole thing I will shift this side. So what is my formula going to be? U square minus v square divided by 2a. So displacement I can calculate using this particular formula. So now we all know energy is nothing but work, work is nothing but energy, isn't it? Work is also a form of energy only. So here the energy formula is nothing but the formula which is there for work, but I will write the formula in different way. So what is the formula for work? Force into displacement, isn't it? So now again, what is force? Force is equal to mass into acceleration. So instead of F, what do I write here? Instead of F, I will write M into A. And now instead of yes, what do I write? I write this. What is this? U square minus v square divided by 2a. Okay, and this a will get cancelled. Okay, and now initial velocity, when I consider 0, so I will consider u is equal to, initial velocity is always 0, right? So u value is equal to 0 here. Sorry, it is v square minus u square, right? So v final first, initial next. Okay, so v square minus u square. So this u square value is equal to 0. So what is my formula? 1 by 2. Your energy, instead of writing w, I will write E. E is equal to 1 by 2. So 1, here nothing is there, means 1 divided by 2. M v square. So kinetic energy is equal to half into mass into velocity square. Okay, so what would be the unit? Again, the unit is joule. Whatever the unit you have for work, the same unit can be applied for all forms of energies here, for both potential energy as well as the kinetic energy. Okay, so this is how we got the kinetic energy formula. Very simple. We know this equation. S is equal to this much we can write. We know F is equal to MA. We are substituting, instead of F we are writing MA, instead of S we are writing this formula. We cancelled AA, and then we considered initial velocity is always 0. So if you substitute 0 in the place of u square, okay, you get this formula, half mv square. So let me open the question for you. Right, so it's very simple. Kinetic energy, Joule is a name of a person actually. So he has given lot of contribution to the field of science. You know, he has discovered certain things in a branch of science called thermodynamics, and he has done lot of work in physics. Okay, so that's why, to honor this person, you know, the unit of work, the unit of energy, we are calling it as Joule. Okay, yes. So kinetic energy. On kinetic energy, yes, one more thing that you want, that you are supposed to know, that is the activity. So this activity I am showing you in the form of a picture. So if you look at this picture, okay, so look at this picture, guys. There is a ball which I am throwing from 25 centimeter height. Another ball thrown from 50 meter height. third ball thrown from 1 meter height and the fourth ball thrown from 1.5 meter height. Okay, which ball would fall down with greater impact? Which ball will fall down with high speed is the question here. Okay, whether this ball falls with greater speed or this or this or this is the question. So very simple, guys. The more the height from which you make an object to fall, more is the speed with which it falls and more would be the impact created. Okay, so higher place, more is the speed and more is the kinetic energy. Okay, and the deeper the dent, more energy, right? So look at the impact. The impact, this is a sand, right? So when a ball fell from 1.5 meter height, look at the dent that is formed on a sand. It is bigger, the impact is much bigger. Okay, right? So as the height increases, you know, the speed is more, kinetic energy is more. So whenever a particular object falls down with more kinetic energy, impact is also more. So that is the beauty of this activity that is there in your NCERT. So this concept also you must know. The more the kinetic energy, more is the speed. That is the logic. Everybody write this in the comment section. More the kinetic energy, more is the speed, more is the impact. Okay, so that is all about this particular activity now. Okay, so now moving ahead to your textbook. Okay, yes, so the problems are given. I'll just show you a kind of problems that they can ask, right? So very simple problems here. Okay, see, an object of mass 15 kg, so mass is given here. Okay, and it is moving with a uniform velocity of 4 meter per second. So velocity is given. You just have to calculate the kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. So instead of mass 15, instead of velocity 4 meter per second. Okay, you have to substitute and calculate. So that is how the questions can be asked, guys. Okay. Yes, so that's all about the kinetic energy. You can solve more questions from textbook. If you have a doubt, you can put it in the comment section. Okay, yes, so we are done with the concept of kinetic energy. So now we will go with the concept of potential energy. Okay, so what is a potential energy here? Okay, so this is also very important energy. So stored energy is called potential energy. Stored energy. Moving energy is called kinetic energy. The object always moves with a particular energy, that is kinetic energy. But when an object is still, okay, when it's not moving, say for example I am the object, okay, yes, I'm not moving but still I do have energies inside me. So stored energies, I would have had stored energies. Okay, so the stored energy of an object is called as potential energy. So this is very, very important. So if I have to give you an example, look at here. Yes, stretched rubber band. Imagine you have a rubber band and you're stretching it. You're holding with some energy, right? So imagine you have a spring, right? So you have pulled the spring here and you are holding that spring with some energy. You are holding, that holding energy is called potential energy. Okay, yes. So water tank that is standing above the roof. So the water tank which is not moving anywhere, it is standing above the roof with some energy, and that is a potential energy example. Okay, and the kid who is sitting on a slide, he's not moving. Say the energy just before the moving, the energy, he has all the energy with which he is going to move. Okay, but there is a lot of energy which is stored before moving. Before moving, there is a stored energy within an object or a person. That stored energy is called as a potential energy. Okay, yes, very very important. And even potential energy has got a formula here. Okay, so potential energy can be written as PE, right? So very simple. The more the height of an object, okay, so the object, if it is sitting on more taller places, more the height at which the object or the person stood, more is the potential energy he or the object will have. Okay, right? More the potential energy, when it start to fall down, that potential energy itself will get converted into kinetic energy. Okay, right? So the stored energy of this boy who is sitting on a slide top above, okay, so that potential energy itself gets converted into kinetic energy as he moves onto a slide. Okay, so that's why the potential energy formula also has got the height letter. Okay, right? So what is the formula for potential energy? Mass into acceleration due to gravity, that is G into height. So very very important formula, mass into G into height. So that is mgh we say. So potential energy is equal to mass GH. More the mass, more the potential energy. More the height, more is the potential energy. Acceleration due to gravity is common, that is 9.8 meter per second square, or for the calculations you can take 10 meter per second square also. Okay, so that is all about potential energy here. If you want to know how this formula has come, it is very simple. Say you all know, any form of energy is nothing but work only. Okay, right? So work is equal to, we all know, force into displacement. So here displacement is all about the height. Okay, so here we talk about height. So any object that is standing on top at a particular height will always have more stored energy. Okay, so here instead of S I will take H. Okay, so that is the displacement here, height. The object will fall from a very far away position standing at a particular height. Okay, and we know what is F here, mass into acceleration. Okay, so here the object is falling against the gravity. Okay, so here the any object which has got a stored energy have to fall only, have to fall definitely. This boy have to move, this tank, you know, of course it is standing with lot of potential energy, but when something happens, when pressure is applied on it, force is applied on it, it has to fall down. Okay, so the anything that is falling from a certain height will fall towards the gravity. That means the potential energy, that stored energy which is there at a particular height is actually against the gravity. Potential energy is operating against the gravity. Okay, so that is why instead of acceleration we take acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity is G. So that's why the formula of potential energy is mgh. Okay, so a potential energy of an object which is there at a particular height is always operating against the gravity, so the G we use. So this is actually called as gravitational potential energy. What kind of potential energy it is? Gravitational. This formula is actually for gravitational potential energy. Potential energies are again of different types. So in your textbook, as far as your syllabus is concerned, we have to discuss gravitational potential energy. Okay, so that is all about potential energy. The more the height it sits on, more is the potential energy it will have. More the potential energy, when it starts moving towards a gravity, with potential energy that it has got gets converted into kinetic energy in a better way. It goes with more kinetic energy. One which has got more potential energy always have to come down with more kinetic energy. That potential energy itself gets converted into kinetic energy. So always energies are converted from one form to another. You cannot destroy energy, you cannot create energy, you can only convert energies from one form to another, which is called as law of conservation of energy. So very important law, law of conservation of energy. So interconversion of energy. So the next topic is about interconversion of energy. Okay, so you cannot create or destroy energy. Okay, you can only convert one form of energy into another form is called law of conservation of energy. So I'll show you. Say the boy who is sitting on a slide at a certain height has got an energy. I told that energy as a potential energy. And the boy will not sit here for longer time. He has to move on and come down, isn't it? So when he is moving down, that moving energy, say the same potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy. You can't say the potential energy is not there in a moving boy. So the same boy is moving down. Does it mean when he is moving, does it mean the potential energy has become zero for that boy? Potential energy got died off? No, right? Potential energy, did it get destroyed here? No, you cannot destroy energy. The same potential energy that was there and you called it as a stored energy, the same thing has got converted into kinetic energy. Okay, so like this, one form of energy gets converted into another form. You cannot create energy, you cannot destroy any existing energy. Only thing is energy is constant. You can only convert one form to another form. So let me show you another slide here. See how energies are converted. Look at here. So the chemical energy is converted. See this girl is running, right? So probably she is going for some competition. So she is running with high speed. That means she is running with a kinetic energy. So here the girl is running with a particular kinetic energy, right? So let me just change the color of the pen here. Yes, let me change it to green. Okay, see, she is running with a particular kinetic energy. So how did she get that energy? She has got that energy from food, isn't it? So food is what? Chemical energy got converted into kinetic energy. And again, how does the plant prepare food? Plants prepare food from sun. That means again here sun energy got converted into chemical energy got converted into kinetic energy. Okay, right? Similarly, yes, you have solar cars, electric cars and etc. See here, you will generate electricity using sun. Yes, so that is what the sun's energy got converted into sun's energy got converted into heat energy, and that heat energy is used up for again in the car, right, for doing a mechanical work. Okay, so here the wind energy, from wind we create electricity, from water we create electricity, right? So from wind into kinetic energy, and again standing water, say in dams you will observe the water coming from height, isn't it? That means the water at top, the water which is there, which is falling from height, has got lot of potential energy, but as the water is moving down, the potential energy got converted into kinetic energy, and that kinetic energy gets converted into electric energy. Yes, we produce electricity from moving water, right? So this is how one form of energy is getting converted into another form of energy. Energy is always a constant in the universe. What you can only do with the energy is you convert one form to another form. Okay, that's it. Okay, so that is all about interconversion of energy. Yes, so now coming to the last concept of the chapter called what is that? Power. So what is power? Power is nothing but capacity to do work is energy. Force that you apply and the object moving further is work. Okay, now how do you define this power? Simple. How fast you are doing work or how slowly the work is being done is called power. Okay, right? Say for example, let me take one example. There's a person, okay, he is trying to move a truck. So he is applying force on the truck, okay, and the truck is moving further. Okay, if he can able to apply force stronger enough to move this truck, okay, quickly, then we say the person has got more power. Okay, it is like how fast the work is being done or how slow the work is being done. Simple. Okay, so how fast or how slow the work is being done is called power. Okay, so practically I can write formula for power. Power can be indicated with the letter P. So power is nothing but work divided by time. Okay, so the rate of doing work in your textbook, if you see, the definition is given like this: rate of doing work. Rate of doing work is called power, they say. Rate means anything divided by time. Whenever you have anything divided by time, we call it as rate. Okay, so that means indirectly how fast or how slow the work is being done is called power. Okay, right? So if you look at, see this particular example, superhero lifts truck in 1 second. So he's doing work in very less time. But the grandfather is doing the same work in more time. So the one who is doing a work in less time is said to have more power. Okay, so power is always like how fast or how slow the work is being done. So both of them are lifting car, they are doing some work, but this fellow is doing in less time and this fellow is doing in more time. So we say this person has got more power than this grandpa. Okay, so power is work divided by time. And what is the unit here? Okay, unit of power is called watt. Remember, what is the unit for power? It is watt. 1 kilowatt, kilo, whenever we say kilo, it is 1000. 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1000 watt. Okay, so here how do they ask a problem? They'll give you value for work done and they'll give you time and they'll ask you to calculate the power. Okay, so this is all about the concept of work, energy and power. So this completes our chapter, guys. So hope you enjoyed the chapter, hope you understood the chapter. Tell me if you have understood every concept. Tell me crystal clear in the chat section. Okay, so and congratulations for watching this video completely. It's a one-shot video and you have watched it completely. Guys, I appreciate for that, and please share the video to all your friends. Okay, and also you are going to come to class 10, isn't it? For class 10 students, I have designed the wonderful course. Okay, complete science course I have designed in homeschool application. Okay, complete class 10 I have explained in a detailed way. They are not the YouTube videos. Okay, in YouTube also you will see the concept videos of class 10 chapters, but these videos are freshly made with all the live experiments, demonstration, experiments, animations and etc. All your NCERT exercise questions, in-text questions, previous year questions, everything is clearly solved. Every Sunday I will come live. Okay, and it is a paid course and definitely complete 1 year support. You no need to go to any tuitions for science. Okay, and also you will become so strong in science that even your 11th standard, 12th standard physics, chemistry, biology becomes very, very easy for you. So that is how I designed this course. Okay, so if you want to get into the course, you just click the link which is given below in the comment section as well as in the description. Okay, or you can check our website. Okay, so check our website www.nalinihomeschool.com. okay, nalinihomeschool.com, and just come into the course, guys. Okay, so instead of paying thousands of money to your tuition centers every month, just come into the course and crack your exams like anything. Not only science, I'll teach you so many learning tricks, learning methodologies, revision methodologies, and etc. And by taking up this course, many of your seniors have got hundreds effortlessly in science. Okay, so do check it out, our course, going through this particular website. Okay, so thank you all so much. See you in the next chapter. Okay, so see you. Bye bye.